Hey guys. Hey, hey, hey. Y'all let me know if you can hear me because I'm pretty sure y'all already know I don't really do a whole lot in the way of lives. But that's about to change. Ooh, I like to hear that. Candy. Okay. All right. Now I have to figure some things out. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. All right. It's very nice to meet you too, Wise Mind. Hello, everybody. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, I just figured I would hop on. Um, I have some things that I'd like to talk about, but I mean, it's time. I think we need to start getting to know each other a bit, with the community, the family. My, has it grown? All right, let's see. So I was I was at church today. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, church, but no. I was at church today and I noticed a friend of mine was going through some stuff, y'all. She broke down, but it just got me to thinking about this the pendulum thing. I love you too. I love you all too. Um and so I figured I would hop on and talk a little bit about that, but also if you have a question or two that you'd like to ask, go for it. Um so I noticed that maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I want to say, my friend, she got her a windfall of money, and she was very excited. She had been waiting for this to happen for quite some time. She was owed a substantial amount, so it finally happened. And so naturally she was extremely excited and happy about it. But so of course, around that time was when I was kind of getting into the pendulum and trying to figure things out with that. So I knew that, well, if you are really, really excited or something like that, then eventually the pendulum will swing the other way, depending on, I guess, I don't want to call it severity, but the extent of your happiness. You feel me? So it's like goes up, and then if you really get excited like that, then bam, it goes right back down in the opposite direction. It's just kind of how the whole polarity thing from Earth works. So it just got me thinking about that, and it was hard to see that she broke down and some things that had occurred. Her daughter's going through some things, and it just right back down, man. This place is something, you know but I just I don't know. I wanted to just kind of talk about it with y'all. I don't know if anybody has. I'm sure everyone has experienced a few things like that, from happy to sad. Just like kind of like you waiting on the next shoe to drop. You feel me? Um, ugh. So okay, so I have a question real quick. How strict should I keep the no sugar? All right. And you do keto. Okay, so John, the thing about the sugar, this for me, and so it's different for different people. I'm saying I just cut out sugar altogether because it just makes it easier for me to stay lucid once I get into the REM state. because for whatever reason, whenever I eat sugar, it just makes me so much more sleepy. And I don't know what that's about per se. I know that the brain can does produce certain chemicals that kind of gets us sleepy. Um, I can't remember what it's called, but if you depending on when you ate it and all of that stuff, it knocks off your lucidity for whatever reason. So I would just say if you're doing keto, keep it up. Just whatever day that you decide to have your OBE, just try to stay away from sugar in general. I mean, at least until you get, you know, start coming out a little bit more. And eventually your body will start to kind of get used to the coming out. You feel me? And so you can add a little bit of sugar every now and then. But yeah, let's see. What are my thoughts on past life karma? I think that karma is a script. I'll be honest. I feel like anytime somebody says that you need to come back, that you need to go come back to Earth, or for whatever reason, it's we shouldn't even entertain it. And to be honest, um, the whole "what goes around comes around." It sure seems like that's a thing, but I don't karma. Nah, I'm good on that. I don't think it's something that we should even entertain. I'll be honest. Now, I've read a couple of books about that, and some people talking about the lords of karma, where if a person actually believes in that, then they will go into the life review with that in mind, and then of course they would literally you live it out. That's what it is. If you feel like you have something to come back to earth for, then that's what happens. You will go down back into reincarnation, in the reincarnation loop. Let's see, you mentioned pendulums often. You've read reality trends. You've I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Go yo. I can leave body with sugar, but it's much more intense and clear without it. Yes, definitely. Go yo. All right, y'all. Give me a second. I'm trying to read as fast as I can, but also I want everybody to actually hear, because I'm not quite sure how to make the questions appear on the screen. You see how I'm just ah, let's see. Uh Cryptid research with some real credentials. Okay. I sent you an email about possible crypto simulation connection. Okay, I'll read it, brother. I'm not sure how long ago you sent the email. Like y'all, when it comes to emails, trust me, I go through as I go through them. You just have to give me a little bit of time, but I'll definitely get to it. Um, I have seen myself in pitch black with red chakra pattern under my waist. Was just staring ahead. Suggestions of experience. Okay, so I haven't. So eh, the only thing I see when I come out is the the spark. That is it. So regardless, most of us have chakras. It's what it is. Okay, and it's nothing to be, I guess, bummed out about. The thing to remember is that you have the spark underneath, and really all you really need to do is just I like to visualize all of those lights coming in as one color, white light, and pooled right into the middle of in the center of the chest. That's just how I'd like to think of how it works, because chakras, yes, that does mean it's transitions. It splits your energy. All right, so we want to try not to use the specific chakras as much as you can, and only when you want to use them, use your energy, use that spark. Just think of that visualization with the spark. and eventually they do shut down, at least from what I've read. Now this is going, we're talking Gnostic and Hermetic texts. It does mention that. Stop. All you really do need to do is just stop using them. Now there are some people that do chakra removal. I don't know anything about that. I don't, so that may be something I can look into. But I don't know how that works, if it works, that kind of thing either. Let's see. Yeah, pendulum swing. Yeah, karma is definitely a program. What's good, hungry ghost? All right, I've had a question I've been wanting to ask for quite a while. What are the other constructs like? This one is the only one you forget, but what are the other constructs like? So that's an excellent question. I'll be honest. I know that this construct is not just Earth. It includes the entire universe and possibly multiverse. The thing is, it's about vibration, getting up out of here, like vibrating so fast, having, so that we won't have to be in any of it. I understand that some people have seen 12 the realms, 12 realms and things like that. And some people have, I believe they think they've gone out of the construct, but I'm pretty sure that that's not the case. Um, so what other constructs look like, I have no clue. But there's Earth, of course, surrounded by this electronic mesh that keeps people in Earth. And then there are other planets, there are other galaxies and things like that as well. So they are not quite like Earth. Now, I've read a book called Interview with a the Alien Interview. I think that's what it was. And it kind of gives information about like other areas within the galaxy and within other galaxies where they have their memories, they never lost them or whatever. And then it talks about how Earth is different. So I don't know. I try not to make too many assumptions and try. I don't like to go down too many rabbit holes. You know, when I figure something out, if I experience something and then I look it up, then that's a little bit different. But in this case, I just, I am tempted to believe that there are places where we haven't lost our memories. I think Earth may very well just be the place. But I don't. I need to do more research. Let's see. Two recent occasions. Hold up. I want to make sure I get as many as I can, y'all. Sugar from fruit. So when it comes to sugar from fruit, fructose is it's not as, I don't want to call it bad, but sucrose, that table sugar, it's just more to break down. There's a little bit more energy within it, more bonds to be broken. Fruit sugars are a little bit better with that regard, but I just like to stay away from all sugars in general. Um, that's just me because it seems to really it works on the lucidity, man. I can't lie. It's a struggle bus. Let's see. Did I forget one? Yeah, here we go. The book Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. I have not read that book, but I certainly will. I'll give it a look. Two recent occasions, something not where I placed it. I racked my mind wondering how that happened. Would that be a timeline shift or a Mandela? What could that be? Okay. Well, I can't say that it's a timeline shift. we lose things sometimes, and not to be, you know, mm, because I'm gonna be honest, like this morning, both of my earbuds just fell and I could not find them. Like, and then all of a sudden, bam, I found them a little bit later. Now, your situation may be a little bit different, but when it comes to timeline shifts or switching through timelines, that's an actual thing. I did that. I was listening to my 300 carrier wave, 300 hertz carrier, 30 hertz binaural beats. I don't, for whatever reason, that just seems to make stuff happen. And so I ended up in a different timeline. Now, mind you, at the time, I didn't even realize it until I'd come back to my body and it was like, dog. Well, what happened was, so I'm sitting up here laying down, I have my eye mask on and my headphones. And then I noticed that my nose got stopped up. Now, usually when I come out of the body, my nose gets stopped up. So I have to use a nasal spray just to keep the passages open. And so this time it was no different. I used my nasal spray, my passages were clear. Went into my little meditation, put the binaural beats on, and then all of a sudden I noticed my nose was stopped up. So I get up, the room was lit. It was like daytime. So mind you, though, during that when I went into the OBE, it was actually 4 o'clock in the morning. So naturally it was dark. But where I was, it was lit. My eye mask was still on. So I'm thinking, dog, my nose is stopped up. I know I use my nasal spray. This shouldn't be happening. This is all going on in my mind, right? So I take my eye mask off and then I look to the right and I see my nasal spray or nasal spray in that particular timeline. So I grab the nasal spray and I spray it, and then I'm like, oh, so I put my eye mask on and then went back and into meditation mode. And then maybe a couple minutes later, I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is not my room. So it was crazy. But by then, I had gone back into my body, and then I had to start all over again, y'all. Oh, but those different timelines, they exist. It was it was what it was. And then another time, I actually had I saw another version of me. Like it was me. And I thought that, so what had happened was, and I know y'all have a lot of questions, but let me get this out real quick. So all right, so I'm listening 30 hertz, 300 carrier wave, 30 hertz binaural. So all of a sudden, I come out and I feel myself coming out like normal. Land on my feet and whatnot, and then I look around the room, and then all of a sudden I notice that my sister, she opens the door and says, "Hey, Tony," and start asking something, and I look at my body. I'm looking at what I thought was me on the bed, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna think I'm dead or something. Let me hurry up and get back into my body so she wouldn't, panic." So I tried. I'm like, okay, try to get back in my body, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, actually, that Tony or that whoever that was, he moved and started talking and saying certain things. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this what I do when I'm out of my body? I don't know why. Just my mind, I wasn't thinking. And so Tina comes right in and starts talking to him, and it was kind of like some of the things that he was saying, it was a little bit, it was like different from my reality. So for example, if I had my, if I thought, if my dad's name was Trey, well, Trey in his time would have been a cousin or something. Like those are like things were a little bit flipped. And he's just talking like, "Hey, Tina, you don't think you can come holler at me at another time? Because your boyfriend in the other room, can't you have this conversation with him?" That's what he was saying. And now mind you, while he's talking, I'm still trying, like, I'm doing this to him like, "Hey, let me in." They didn't see me at all, and then I realized finally, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a whole other timeline, or it is a whole other dimensional space going on here. And then I went back into my body. But I noticed that our room looked almost exactly alike. It's like it's a template, right? So I have two plants in my window, and he had two plants in his window. We had the same type of bed, except his bed was white. He had and his, he wore a white cap too, and that and his the sheets and comforter, all that stuff. All it was just white. His room had it's like everything that I had in my room, he had in his, except it was just a little bit different. So if the template said plant, it's a plant. It don't matter what kind of plant it is. It's just that there were two plants, in the same area. I just thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, my little stories. Well, thank y'all so much. Thanks, John, and thanks, BB. Let's see. I think I might have missed a couple of questions, but yeah, y'all, it's this is it's I'm in I'm enjoying the ability to come out like that, y'all. The most of you, I'm pretty sure, are probably still trying. Some of you are already doing it, and that's wonderful. You know, keep it up. Keep it up, because we get used to being out of the body in our native habitat, if you will. Where this body is just for a limited amount of time, and we have our experience, and boom, it's time. When it's time to go, most of us here, I believe, we're just ready to go, and we're trying to keep coming back here over and over again. Some people like this place. Let's see. Tony, when did you realize about the soul trap? I realized about 2 years ago, and it took me a few days to really go to grips. I felt a massive download of information in my brain, literally. So, what happened for me, because when I came out, I was doing a lot of stuff. Y'all, if you've watched some of my videos, it was a progression. Um, I was using my energy, my light. I could change colors and whatnot. And then when I got into that fight, and I was just casting these lightning bolts and whatnot, and going to these different places. Well, after that point, I started getting carried out. The moment I would come out of my body, I would get just dragged somewhere. Now, mind you, I did not tell said entity not to touch me. I did not. I just let them take me, because, what do I know? Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. And that's what I thought. And so I went to these different places. I started casting my light, and all of a sudden, I started to kind of feel like, okay, this is happening every single time I come out for an out of body experience. And I was like, it wasn't fun anymore. It was just kind of like, y'all just taking me places. So I ended up trying to figure out who my oversoul was. And now mind you, it's a progression. It was a journey, y'all. You watch the first couple of videos, y'all. Watch the whole thing. Watch the progression, and I tell this story. But long story short, I ended up realizing I have no oversoul. There is no oversoul, at least in my case. And it was almost as if they didn't care. And so I'm like, okay, well, what is all of this about? Y'all are taking me all of these different places to use my energy. That's what I realized what was going on. It wasn't really and it was under the guise of me being some kind of a warlord. And that's exactly what they said. You're a multidimensional warlord. So I'm thinking, and then he drops me off in front of us, in front of a school. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that means I'm supposed to be training to be this warlord and multidimensional. Well, that was it. I wasn't learning anything. I was just being dropped off places and used, and my energy was being used. And so finally, I just got to the point to where I was just like, this something ain't right, you know. And sure enough, come out of my body one other time, and then this black, this, it was a guide, but she was a bot, and she lies and tells me that she was a red elemental, and that I need to keep doing what I'm doing, because she was concerned that I was getting upset, which I was. And long story short, it was just I realized at that point that this is not what it seemed to be. They were just using me for my energy at that point. I'm doing a probably a piss poor job explaining what happened, but if you look at the videos, I think it'll better explain. So, but I knew then that, okay, well, if they're using my energy like this, I'm not surprised. It stands to reason they would be using all of our energy in some sort of way. Now, of course, later on, I started to see the pipes and things like that. And so, yeah, that all everything started to fall into place. I started to read a lot more actually. And things started lining up. That we are energetic beings, and they use our energy. That's just what it is. Um, Keep up with the chat. You be very good, fast. Oh, thank you, Venomous. Appreciate you. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. I will do my best to kind of to take my time, because I don't want to, start talking so fast, and then, yeah, nobody would understand. Let's see. I called on my light on the way to sleep, and I seen my spirit dream body. She looked different from who I really am. Okay. No, I'm not sure, Ebony, if you don't mind. I'm not sure when you say when you called on your light. Oh, you mean you kind of lit up? Let's see. Had an OBE so far for only a couple of seconds. Really trying to have. All right, John. No worries, John. You go ahead. So the thing with OBEs, some of them last seconds. I'll be honest. Some of them, but when you come out of your body, it's like you take in a lot of information even for those few seconds. So learn whatever you can even from those. But there's a way that you can stay out a little bit longer. Okay, well, at least it works for me. Okay, if you ground yourself, in other words, touch a surface, wherever you are, touch a surface. First off, you got to get away from your body. Like, you quickly get away. Do not, if wherever you are, if you're in your bedroom, uh, don't let the fear get you. Get out of your room, because the closer you are to your body, it sucks you right back in. So I'm not sure how close you are to your body at the time, but try your best. Get away from the body. But then after that, you can touch a surface if you feel like you're starting to lose a little bit of your lucidity, or you feel like you might be going back to your body. The thing is too, at a certain point, you're going to realize you're feeling all of this, all of the physical body, when you're out. You can hear as well everything. Like, if you're using binaural beats, though, binaural beats tend to fade out. But if you're listening to a guided meditation, you will hear the guided meditation while you are out. So whoever's talking, you're gonna hear them as well. I thought that was pretty interesting. But you have to try to make sure that your awareness is wherever you want it to be, and which is out somewhere else. You feel me? Because where your awareness goes, that's where the energy is going to flow. And if you start listening to the meditation, then it also has a chance to trigger, that electromagnetic field will pull you back into your body as well. Okay, so try to, but main thing, get away from that body. Yeah, yeah, because it will pull you back in. Let's see here. Y'all, thank y'all so much for the super chats. I appreciate that. I really do. Let's see. He said, nope, too scared. Remember, y'all don't be scared. Now I feel you. Now, I mean, even for me, it took me a few OBEs to before I walked out of my room. Some people think I just walked on the scene and just got off my body and just like, woo. That is not what happened at all. My goodness. It took me a minute. I don't know what I was thinking though. I was thinking like, what could have been on the other side. That's what I thought, I didn't maybe a monster, a demon or something, because I'm coming from a Christian, I've come from a Christian background, right? And so where do scared people go? To church. I mean, they do. And so we have this thing called a savior complex. You have to hide under the covering of somebody that we think is going to make us, it's going to protect us. It's just the nature of being in a duality, a place like this for whatever reason. But it's true, we can everybody, you don't have to agree, but I can't lie. I was one of the most scary people in the church. Scared. Just somebody go boo. I'm oh. That's it. So now I'm just, the fear, that whole thing is just a part of this being in this, but nothing can hurt y'all. It's not like that. Some people I know feel like they may not come back to their body. Now I've heard that a lot. That's not how it works. As a matter of fact, you have more trouble staying out than anything else. You trying to get, you'll get pulled back in. That's not even, it's almost like a slinky. And sometimes when if your electromagnetic field is strong, let's say your heart starts to beat a bit faster, that quickly it'll bring you right back in. So you don't have to worry about not coming back. When obviously when it's time to transition, that's a little bit different. But most of us are, it ain't time. And if it ain't time, you coming back. You don't have to worry about that. Let's see. I had one OBE so far for a couple of seconds. Okay, got you. Let's see. I think I read that one. Love your channel, your source seed teaching. I'm focusing on that, transcending the traditional chakra overlay. Awesome, free. Yeah, yeah. That's good. The fact that you're trying to transcend that traditional, that chakra overlay thing. But the way to find out, y'all, if you have chakras, once you come out, you could see it. You can see it. Just like I see the spark, you'll be able to see it. That's for sure. Now, star seeds, on the other hand, they usually are like a color. There are geometric shapes and things like that they may see within their energetic field. I'll just call it that. So you know, we look different. Yeah, it happens. I've watched too many horror movies. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, y'all, and to be honest, I'm gonna say scary thing that I've seen was the security bot. Now, they can turn into whatever kind of shape. And when I say they, bureaucracy, bots, the matrix, the artificial intelligence, they're holograms. That's what they are. They're literally holograms because it's all energetic at that point. Okay, when you come out, and even in the etheric realm, there it's even though it looks real, some people say more physical than physical. Sure, it's still energy. That's what it is. It's not compressed like 3D, like this place. It's not compressed like that. So you gotta, just understand that when you see certain things, it's gonna look holographic in nature, 3D ish, but holographic. And technically, I guess we in the 4D at that point. But so I saw that little phantom lady. She was an old lady. She just turned. Oh my god, it was just weird. She was like, "Arr," that's how she looked. "Arr." And I'm looking like, get out of my field, right? I'm telling her to get out of my field. Because now, mind you, at that point, I was still under the impression that whatever you say goes, right? That's at least that's what I heard. If you say this, and you tell something to just get out of your way and it will go. See, this is why I'm doing my channel because I got to tell y'all the real deal. And it all that, yes, we're powerful. That's not the issue. But these people or these entities have had eternity to work on their stuff, to try and keep us, you know, in place, if you will. Think about it. You ain't that powerful that you, especially when you don't have your memories. That is the ugh, that gets you. Thanks so much, Marcellus. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. So, y'all, for real, don't believe all this, you just whatever you say goes. Now, there's a caveat to this. Is it possible that we can get to the point to where whatever we say goes? I'm very tempted to believe yes. And the reason is because I literally just figured out how to tap into that spark, all right, which is the core, our core, right? That's some serious power, y'all. And like the last out of body experience I had, which was last night. And so I'm thinking, okay, how do I tap into this? I keep hearing concentrate or put your awareness in your chest. That's what I was trying to read up on this kind of stuff. And whenever people talk about stuff dealing with the metaphysical, it always sounds like it's not practical. Like, how do I put this in practice? Don't just tell me stuff that sounds, nice to my ears, but don't really mean anything if I can't use it. So I finally figured out what it is. So right there in the chest is physical, like the physical feeling. If you concentrate right on that physical feeling of this part of the chest, and I'm just right about there, right on that sternum. What happens is when you're out of the body and you do that, your awareness, it literally kind of like locks in place. It goes zoop, like this. And literally, I felt it. It was like boom. And the only thing I thought at that point was, okay, I don't want anybody in my field. That's what I didn't say it out loud. I thought it. And so some soul, I don't, to be honest, I don't know whether it was a bot or not. But he ran towards me and he was like, I mean, full speed. And well, he ended up curving out of my path. I just stood there, but I was concentrating specifically on the feel of that part of my chest, and I actually felt like a buzz. It was a slight buzz as well, not a high, by the way. I felt some, but it was like a literal like a bzzz like that. Okay, and that's when I was like, okay, to stand my ground essentially. Now, I don't think that particular entity meant me any harm, but he ran towards me and he could not. It was almost if he was deflected off in the opposite direction. So that lets me know that something has changed in I would say just how I operate in the out of body state. But I have to make sure that my awareness is concentrating directly on the chest, that part, because that again, that is the core. All right. So this is for y'all when y'all come out of the body. It's easy to get captivated and observing and all of this, you're looking around and everything is it's just new, you know what I mean? And it is fun. I can't lie. It's fun. You get to fly and all kind of stuff. But after a certain point, you become so aware to where it you start getting other souls start waking up. I mean, it's just what it is, and they don't want that. They, the bureaucracy, matrix, archons, whoever is running that place, is only a certain. There's only a certain amount of awareness that you're going to be able to have without pinging the powers that be. So what we have to learn how to do is remember how to use our power, and that is, I believe, that is a part of it. I'm still in the testing rounds. I don't really want to go too far into it yet, but I think I figured it out, y'all. And in practical terms, I think I figured it out. So literally, you literally just be out there in the out of body state, astral, etheric, wherever. Boom, and then it locks. But you got to keep your awareness there, and otherwise, the moment you start talking or whatever, then it disengages. So what I'm gonna try to do is try to figure out a way to keep my awareness there, or at least enough so I can do whatever I want to do, like literally do whatever I want to do. So yeah, but I'm gonna share another out of body experience with y'all another time, not this time. That got me to this point. And there's a reason why I wanted to figure this out, because so many people were like, "Yeah, we're so powerful and all of this," and I'm just figured trying to, I don't know, other than flying and using my light, you know, but yeah. Anywho, so let's see. Thanks, NH. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad you caught me too, Aboriginal. Was it your Merkaba that is rooted in your heart, a bit like the Monroe Rebel? Well, so it's the spark, not Merkaba. No. So it's the actual source spark, the little piece that we have. All of us have it. I mean, unless of course you're an NPC, but yeah, all of us have that. It's the spark. Have you ever used, cleansed, and properly blessed crystals with your OBEs? Recommend you doing the cleansing and blessings yourself. Also applies saliva to the crystal because water is in all worlds. You know what? I don't know anything about that. I'll be honest, brother. I blessing crystals. No, I didn't. Yeah, let's see. Aboriginal. I've definitely thought about that. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, wow. We have 93 people. Hi, everybody. So y'all, if you have any questions, that'd be I'm fine. Hey, ask away. If I know the answer, I will. I'll let you know if I don't know either. I'm not gonna try to make anything up. That's for sure. But yeah, but like my last out of body experience, it just gave me. I don't want to use this term like to make it seem like things were woe is me, but to give it gave me an extra oomph. I was about to say gave me hope, but it gave me extra oomph, to just want to try some things out. You know, I just but when again, the more aware you are, and those of you that have been coming out a bit more, you are going to be becoming a lot more aware, which means you will be pinging they're going to notice. All right. But and then you're gonna actually start to encounter some of those bots, the security. I'm calling them security bots, because they want to try to keep you contained. All right. In that case, there's only certain things that you can do, because bots are like, they're like monitor, like computers. They don't respond the same way as a regular soul would. You feel me? So whereas with me, I could use my light and use different colors and whatnot. Different like the black, I could use my black light and absorb energies and things like that. Ooh, my throat. Or I can also um create well we can definitely talk to each other mentally, but it's just a lot of things you can do with your light. And yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing else about that, but you can definitely use your light. Souls respond differently to bots. They don't respond at all. You can tell them to flee and go and do whatever. They don't respond to that. So you have to raise the vibration by tapping into that core source, that spark in the middle. And then that way you can literally de-render them, is what I've read. Now I'm gonna try it out myself before I that's what I'm now. This is just what I've been told. Okay. But they don't like me being out of my body. There's something else. Can you talk about the chakras? Well, I mean, sure. They are, some people call them transistors. They call them like rings in some literature. But the seven rings, it's all those different colors, but they all mean something. Now I'm not an expert on chakras themselves, only because I'm not, I'm I can't say I'm against too much, but I would prefer not to use them if I had them. Just based on what I've read. I would want to close them, get them closed, and then pool all of that energy to the chest. That's what, so you have the white light, and that's it, just that spark. Because if you don't use it, eventually they do close. At least that's what they say in the Gnostic texts. Let's see. Yeah, so getting rid of chakras themselves. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I would like to know how that operates. But anytime a person has to rely on someone else, I mean, outside of a child, like in the physical, like a child needing their parents, the mother, father, whatnot. I get that. But when you talking about soul stuff and you have to rely on another individual to do certain things, and I might get a lot of flack for this, but I just feel like we're sovereign for a reason, and we're able to, you know, to to do what we need to do by ourselves. If we want it, then there's a way to do it by without the learning is different. If you have teachers, they can teach you things, you know what I'm saying, like, and even with me being in the position that I am, that's different. But getting somebody to work on you, and bless their hearts, I really don't think that a lot of them realize whether or not it's good or bad. I can't even say that. I just would prefer, leave well enough alone and just work it out myself. Um, and I'm not beholden to somebody else's energies. And as much as they mean well, you know, let's see. Tony, I almost had an OBE a few weeks ago, but it felt like I stopped breathing. I got scared and shut it. Oh, so when you go through sleep paralysis, you will feel it's pressure. It is a little hard to breathe. Yeah, that is true. But that you just gotta keep it calm, calm as much as you possibly can. You know, um, Eventually, though, like sleep paralysis now, I rarely feel it. Sometimes I do, but very rarely do I feel the actual sleep paralysis coming on. I just start coming out. So eventually you'll get to that point. If you are actually going out of your body, why do you permanently leave and never come back? Going out of your body, why do you permanently leave? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I think you mean I don't know what you mean. I don't want to guess. Tony, do you still have faith in God as prime source creator? Do you see God as a spirit, energy, consciousness, presence? How do you relate God? Do you still pray? Is your view God evolving? No, 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 no. I don't think that there's any God above me. And that's that. And I do believe that there's possibly some being that all of these other religions and what people are actually praying to, in which case they are the ones who may have created an entity like a god. But no, that's not where I am today. Um, and I'm very happy with where I am today. I mean, nope, nope, not no more. And that's that. So anything else was, and if the thing is, even as parts of the source itself, if we call it the source, whatever you want to call it, if we have a piece of energy in our chest. Whatever, I don't, you know what I'm saying? The different terminologies. Some people say divine spark, whatever. All right. Whatever it is, we have a piece, and it is the full code of it all. It ain't just, you feel me, just a little piece. This piece has the full spectrum of energy in it. So, but as far as anything, but nah, no. Had a OBE like a kid. I didn't want to do anymore later. One didn't look to me like anything good. I understand, like young man, this is Matrix, but look like we can't get out from this Matrix. There's a way, you know. Some people like to think of this place as learning. I mean, it, and while others, you know what I'm saying, it's a they do things to keep us here. It just is what it is. It's now it's time for us to learn. We got to learn how to get around that. That's why even though I noticed the traps, I mean, I can tell you about it. Yes, but the whole point is so that we figure out how to get around it, you know. But you ain't I'm you know, I'm it's all energetic. There's a way that we can out vibrate these things. So don't I wouldn't get caught up in the whole trap like that, you know. Notice it because that's how you learn. Don't be afraid of it and don't get despondent because of it, you know. Tony, what do you think of Izzy? Thank you so much. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What do you think about our pets and the afterlife? Do you think they are also trapped? Oh, no, 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 no. So, well, if you watched my last little interview I did with a young lady named Nilu, and I got very emotional because my dog passed the very day that I did the interview with Huzefa, Pink Tourmaline, and he was very special to me. I actually saw him come what he was out of his body when I was out of mine. He had two aspects of himself. One was extremely vibrant and just ready to go. That was the part of him that went with me through the mirror in when I went through my mirror portal. And then the other one kind of stayed back. It was more subdued for the most part. Um, but animals, they have souls too. They yes, they are, and to be honest, some of them very well may be here to kind of help, I would say, for us, for some of us. Um, but I do believe they go through the same process, especially if you once they become human, if they decide to incarnate as a human. Because keep in mind, you can incarnate as whatever you want, from my understanding. But when you become into the human body, that's when things start getting a bit tricky, I would say. But as an animal, they don't have the wherewithal to be I guess I don't even know if they may feel fear, as a response from being hurt and whatnot, but they don't have the same responses as us. You know what I mean? That's so. But long story short, I don't know it all about when it comes to the animals. I don't, but I do know that they do have their they have souls. That it's a soul too. You know what you just said about bots not responding to being banished reminds me of what I am dealing with now, what we call Sasquatch. Oh wow. Hmm. In as an OBE brother, you saw Sasquatch there? Are you yeah? If you can maybe kind of elaborate a little bit. What do you think about twin flames? Oh, y'all bringing up some stuff, people. Why do I feel like I'm going to be the most hated person on the web? Not that I care, but oh, okay, y'all. Listen, twin flames. I don't think that any of us are in such a position to where we just need somebody else. I'll just leave it at that, y'all. You know, you some people feel like a longing or like you're missing a part of you or whatever that, the case is. You can be whole. You are whole. You are all you need. Because what ends up I just feel like some what'll happen is you transition, right? And then you see whoever the twin flame you may resonate with on that other side, and bam, right into a reincarnation loop. I just don't, yeah. But and admittedly, I don't know everything there is to know about the whole twin flame like that, but I just know we need us. That's it. We're good enough. We're very powerful on our own. Tony Sears recommended your channel. Subscribed a week ago. Oh wow, thanks, Frank. Appreciate Tony. The two Tonys. Take a second and hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah, thanks, Venomous. Appreciate it. Everybody taking the second to give a thumbs up. If you so enjoy this conversation, that would be great. Are all entities malevolent, or are some there to help, to teach, even though they may be fooled as well? Okay, so that's a good question. Y'all can give me 1 second. Let me get a little bit of water. I got my little. All right. So no, all entities are not malevolent. They're not all bad, but they certainly aren't all benevolent good either. Okay. So what it is you're gonna have souls, or you'll end up having thought forms or bots. That's it. At least from what I've seen, that is it. Okay. The trick is trying to figure out one from another, because it gets hard unless you're aware. You just focus on one of them. Thought forms tend to dissipate after a while. Souls will not. All right. Bots won't either. Bots will usually ask you for something. Okay. They're gonna be like, hey, come here. Then like the lady asked me for my phone, that kind of stuff. They want you to go somewhere or do something. They'll send you on a mission or something. That is prime bot. Okay. Souls are either going to be in their own loops, doing their own thing, minding their own business, stuff like that. They're not going to be trying to do too much. Now you can come across some that will talk to you, but by and large, they're not going to ask you for anything. You know, that's just not how they work. So I don't think I wouldn't even use the terms good or bad per se. But if you want to think of the bots as bad, I don't. Hey, dude, that's fine. Because to be honest, they don't. To me, I don't think that they mean us any good. To be on that at all. When it comes down to angels and stuff like that, they're bottish. They just they may be in a different higher level, but they don't have souls. They bots too. They from the part of this whole matrix thing. A soul has a spark. So then those are the ones that when we come in contact with, you may very and honestly, I've only come across a few souls in my whole encounter. Okay, and I've started to parse things out because the way frequency attenuation goes. Now, some of you probably thinking, what is frequency attenuation? Well, what it is it's giving your the spark a chance to cool down from its stay on earth if a person has transitioned. All right, so the first thing they do is they'll get you to stand in a line somewhere, go sit down, go chill, take a breath, so that the spark can cool down, so that it'll be usable again. Okay, but that's what it is most of the time during frequency attenuation. They split the souls apart. They'll put them somewhere, like in a house of their own. They'll create, I mean, oh, and it'll most likely look just like the house that you were in on Earth to keep you settled. And if they notice that you're starting to think like, what the heck is going on? Like the young lady I saw on I was in her house and she started talking to me. She had just recently passed. She was from Los Angeles, somewhere in that area. And she was starting to remember. And the moment she started remembering, guess what happens? A bunch of bots started appearing. And they wasn't just any kind of bot. The bots were her mother, a couple of people other people that she knew. It was different people that just start walking in so that to keep her in the loop. And sure enough, she went back into the loop. So that's how it works. But she knew she had passed on. She told me, she was like, yeah, it wasn't such a good day. I'm like, oh, okay, and then and her mom pops in, and the moment her mom pops up, she's like, oh yeah, she's gonna have something to say. She always has something to say. Well, and sure enough, her mama has something to say. I mean, it's just, they will bots will populate in certain areas to keep you in a loop. And usually it will be somebody that the person knows. Okay. Unfortunately, that does mean that the chances of you meeting mom and dad on the other side, it's not impossible, no, but improbable, unfortunately. Love has been weaponized, so it's important to focus on self love. That is correct. All right, Rebecca, take care. Where does sleep paralysis come from? So, sleep paralysis is your body, the physical body's way of putting your entire body in paralysis mode so that you don't act out dreams and things like that. It's like your brain starts to produce GABA, and I believe it's GABA and glycine. I think those are the two main chemicals, but essentially it puts the body to sleep. So you're not, it just happens. It's not you know, got a gotcha thing. It's just, it does happen. Think of it as a sweat lodge, assuming you've done one or two. Oh, you were talking to somebody else. My bad. Okay. Sent air travel for 1,000 joules. Well, thanks, Leela. Appreciate the jewels. Why do you not permanently leave and never come back? The reason you don't permanently leave is because we are attached from the etheric body through our nervous system. Okay. The etheric body is one of the layers. Okay. And we are automatically, we're attached to that. Now, when you come out, it's still an attachment, even though we don't see it. Some people call it the silver cord, but it is an attachment. Now, the only way it'll stop, it'll is when the heart stops beating. You lose that electromagnetic field, and bam, it'll no longer exist. When this physical body dies, because we're talking, it's a compressed area. In other words, all of the molecules, all of the atoms and things, the energy itself, because matter is energy, it's smushed together and into such a way to where it will not, there is no breaking of the silver cord, the attachment either. Even as you move up to the fourth dimensional space, which would be astral plane of the other planes, whatnot. So, but that's why you don't permanently not come back, because it's an electromagnetic field that keeps it going. So it's literally, it's attached to the nervous system, which is also attached to, your circulatory system and all of that stuff. The science of it is, yeah, but you don't just not come back. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Interesting. Ooh, I think I just thank you so much, Floyd. I appreciate you. Ooh, okay, y'all. Y'all give me a second. I promise I'm gonna try to get through this as fast as I can, or at least if I can see. Let's see. Are chakras and auras like Kirlian photography the same? I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what Kirlian photography is. I don't know what that is. But chakras and auras are two different things. I mean, um, chakras are literal. They're within the template of the soul. They're like there, kind of like stuck there. They're transistors. They are prisms to split your light. Auras, I believe, are something else. That's just an energetic. It's an energetic field rather than a transistor. Tony, I've lived with Sasquatch for 60 years, days and night contact, but I don't expect you to know much about that. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Let's see. I feel like they are like Agent K. All right. Heard Bigfoot. Are all the realms Darius refers to controlled by the archons? Good question. I don't. I know that the matrix portion of it, which we're talking 4D, 3D, and 4D and below. But the construct itself is all of the dimensional spaces, including the 4D one, all of it. I don't know. That's a good question. But chances are, yeah. Um, because it's we're trying to get up out of the construct and the whole thing. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. So happy to be here. Founder of the Pink Tourmaline. Welcome, NYX. Twin flames. Love that question. I've never believed in twin flames. Relying on one's God self is very liberating message from one science teacher to another. Yes, AAK. Love your videos. I rush to watch as soon as you post. Oh, that's what's up. I appreciate that, y'all. What do I think about ancestors being on the other side? I believe that they are most likely in a loop. I mean, I will say this much: true ancestors, I think they are in some sort of a loop. However, I believe that the people that believe in ancestors most likely are encountering some sort of a bot at some point. Um, I just do. I could be dead wrong, but I just that from the looks of it, any belief system is a belief system at the end of the day. So yeah, it's probably just a bot that's trying to keep up the the facade for people that believe in it. Twin flame is an attachment trap and will be used against you in mind. Yes, it will, Floyd. Tony, how do you handle the people in your life that can't let go of God or accept we don't think there is a God? It's really troublesome dealing with. So I know it feels bad, like you can't do anything. I like feels like you can't help them, but that's them. You we have enough that we need to be trying to figure out coming out of our body and trying to get used to this spark and trying to learn how to activate it. There's enough we dealing with as is. And at the end of the day, we love our loved ones. That's it. I'm not I can't say that you shouldn't, but I will say that you got to love you first. You feel me? Start being around some people that of or of like mind, so you can learn a little bit more. They will have their time. They'll come around. Y'all have everybody listen. Please understand this. Souls, even babies, 6, 7, 8 year olds, 1 year olds, their souls, at least those that are souls, have been around for some time. They are not like just can't do nothing for themselves. I mean, obviously in the physical, yeah, you got to take care of them. But in the spiritual, y'all, the they've been around forever too. So don't take such a stance to where we fall into a complex of I gotta save them. I gotta help them. I got you talk to them, but it's their journey. It's their journey. You can't. I'm not trying to be rude or you know what I'm saying. I don't want to sound heartless, but it's just what it is. It's their journey. Let them take it however it sees fit. But for you, your journey's different. It's time to get up out of here. The enforcers over there, the tech, what have you noticed about it? Like, how can you repel if transition permanently? Do you think? So yeah, that's what I'm learning how to do. So when the enforcers, those security bots, that kind of tech, that so when you tap into that core spark, then anything that you think of, I believe we should be able to do. But I'm testing it out, y'all. I ain't about to just, go out on a limb. But I will say it seems very promising so far. You know, Upon my first try, I just I'm excited. I'm excited about that. In which case we can just simply de-render them. In other words, we vibrate them out of existence, their energy. This is hey, no, you don't exist. Get rid of them. A lot of people spend some time fighting bots and you know what I'm saying. I've heard of people that go over to the other side and they say they're doing all of this fighting and the archons and I don't know a whole lot about that. But I will say this. When you feed energy to the system, it literally that's what it does. They're gonna do nothing but respawn. So the best thing to do is to, you don't have to do all that. All you have to do, you control your space. Get out of my space, de-render. Boom. They should just completely vanish for the most part. So I'm about to find out though. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you know. But it again, you we are not helpless by a long stretch. You know, we that again is the memories. That's the thing that amnesia did a number on us. Oh, but once we figured out, let's see. Bush, interesting, brother Littlefoot. Hey, Tony, great to see you live. Yes, Missy, it's good to see you too. Have you listened to Intuitive Underground remote viewing data on what they've seen in the astral? I think I'd rather RV the astral rather than leave my body. Oh, you rather remote view. Well, I have watched a couple of their videos or their I guess you call them podcasts, whatnot. Um, and I believe it sounds legit to me. I do wonder though, because I don't know a lot about remote viewing. I do wonder how they're able to see certain things, especially within the astral plane. Etheric is to me is a little bit different, but when it comes to the astral plane, when things just kind of appear and disappear with thought, I don't know how they are able to do all of that, but I mean, I don't know the process. So, but that is something interesting. I would like to figure out. I'm just learning the mechanisms, the mechanics behind it. Let's see. Wayne and Julie are the ones who showed me Tony's channel. Oh, cool. Thanks, Wayne and Julie, whoever you are, wherever you are. I'm a pagan who stopped working with gods and goddesses. They disappeared from my life after I told them that if they were part of the simulation to leave over 20 years ago, they left. Ooh. I'm in an apparent standoff with family or two now, whom I have loved and gifted for 5.5 years. Standoff been 35 days now. Wow. Okay, brother. Let's see. I believe any ancestors of mine is already reprocessed back in the matrix. Their minds are wiped and they're back in the human. Yeah, most likely, Floyd. Most likely. Yeah. Especially some people say that it takes 2 or 3 years for a soul to get back reincarnated again. I don't know how true it is. I just know what I heard. But it certainly seems plausible because time does work different on the other side. But that frequency attenuate that it doesn't take, years and years and years and years for that spark to settle, especially if you're looped. They have you in a loop. That is true. It's all right, Divine. You're a little late. That's all right. I'm just nobody knew I was coming on. I just popped up here. I figured I would just, say hello to you, my family, my community. Yes. And even those that are not subscribed yet, I'm sure you eventually you will be. I think, wait a minute. I think I said it to only subscribers anyway. So everybody subscribed. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Give money. Tony, can I heal my body during an OBE? Yes. Um, ooh, okay. So what I've noticed is it's about colors, it's about the frequency itself. All right. So when you're out of the body, ooh, now you'd have to figure out a way the energy itself, like the green is repair and healing. All right, but I usually in combination with pink, which represents unconditional love. It's my intent in that case. And it's blue. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, blue for clarity and whatnot. Those two together can actually help heal the body. But usually it's going to be a template thing too. So you got to kind of heal the template with along with the physical body. Otherwise, the physical body it won't completely heal. So yeah, how to do it? I'll be honest. The only healing that I've ever done was within the body. I was in the physical body doing it. So out of the body, it has to go down the silver cord. I don't think we could even get close enough to the physical body or stay out long enough before it sucks us back in. So I can't tell you. But if out of the body, green, pink, blue. And the blue should be like an electric color blue. Visualize and just the whole body is just covered. But email me. I might be able to kind of give you some more insight. Tony at insightswithtony.com. All right. This makes zero sense. If you are able to leave it by dying, why don't you do it also? How was the matter system made? Wait. Are some souls able to make such systems that can attach souls? Well, but to leave. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I don't. Can you maybe restate your question? So I'm not quite sure I understand. Able to leave it, but why don't you do it? So, ooh, if I'm understanding correctly, you want to know if we can leave these physical bodies once we die, why can't we just, I guess, leave the whole system? Is that what you're asking? Because the thing is, it's not about just you leaving. It's a thing called the law of resonance. Okay, what happens when a person dies? Remember, we are not these physical bodies to begin with. We are energetic in nature. We are straight energy. Okay, and according to all of us, we have this core. So we come out, and sure, we have all of these different layers and whatnot that's going on that looks very much like the physical. It takes on a physical shape, but we are energetic beings. And if any part of you resonates with whatever, it could be a belief system, it could be an attachment to somebody. Well, the moment you come out of that body, you'll see something or an entity or Jesus or somebody that you'll gravitate towards. Not only this, that white light, a lot of people go towards the white light because that's all they supposedly they know. They just like, oh, I see a light. At first, they were in total darkness and pitch black, that kind of the void, whatnot, or the I would say the point right before you see the white light that is just it's black. And so they'll go towards the first thing that they recognize. That is a part of consent, right? In that case. And the closer you get pulled, and then you'll feel all this wonderful love energy. And then, of course, by then, it's like you've already agreed. You feel me? Instead of vibrating yourself, like just leaving at that point. There's a lot, that also there's something, there's a lot to it, but I'm gonna try a bit better to help. Hopefully, I can break things down and possibly in a different video. I talked a little bit about it in previous videos, but yeah, um, it just it's what it is. It's called a toroidal field. That resonance, it'll pull you. Anything that aligns up with whatever it is that you believe or you're attached to, it'll pull you on in. And then unfortunately, when with that light, it makes us compliant. So you'll feel all the love and all of this stuff and wonderful, euphoric, and all that jazz. I mean, all the way through it. Somebody, and I can't remember what the guy's name was. He left a very good comment about what it actually felt like. He had an NDE, right? And he said, I mean, he felt it all the way through it. And it's easy to say not to just resist. It's hard to resist. It just is. And then at that point, you'll do whatever they say, you know. So eh, they've been doing this a long time, so it's a better thing to just out vibrate the whole thing. I have more cues or questions, but I'll let others get a turn to get some insight from Tom. All right, all right. Let's see. Looking good today. Your information is so very helpful in my path. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Have you seen any guides? I have seen guides. Yes. I've seen the bot guides and I've seen actual soul guides. The soul guides, honestly, I don't think they realize what they are doing in the grand scheme of things. And I mean, naturally, they don't know everything of what's going on. They'll come out of the body, come grab somebody, take them somewhere, and then drop them off. And you don't know what that's it. You know, they don't realize what's, you know, even Tom Campbell. I looked at him, you know, bringing these people up to this whenever they transition and they're all standing in line and he's taking them there. You don't realize frequency attenuation. That's yeah. So but yeah, but the bot guides, they will take you somewhere and tell you, look, man, go this way. Like the one that took me to this, it was looked like it was behind the inside of a stadium, but it was like in the back, and there was a door, and he was telling me to go through the door, and I was like, "What door?" That's what I was thinking, and he walks up towards the door, and he says, "Your family is just this way," and I'm like, sure enough, I ended up going right back to my body at that point, though. My inner slash higher self, whatever you want to call it. I know some people have a thing about the terminology. The truth of the matter is when you come out of the body, there's a part of you that seems to know stuff. It just does. And you know, whereas I might have gone through the if it wasn't for me going back to my body, it literally tripped me to go back to my body. It's possible I would have went through that door, you know. So it's things like that. Sure, you are one entity. Don't get it twisted. You know, we are one spark. We are what we are. But it's just that you know a little bit more out of the body, even if you don't remember it. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's hard to describe. So yeah, I think trying to have or actually having OBEs is the best thing that we can do. Yes, that is true. I agree. Hi, Tony. What about non human intelligence that may live in other areas in the universe? Are they within this construct or another? They are within this construct, yes. Especially if you can see them, if you know what I'm saying. If they come to Earth, they are within and within this particular dimensional space. Yes. Tony, do you do any techniques to stay lucid and aware to prolong OBEs? Yes, I do. First off, because I know my nose gets stopped up. I spray my nose, make sure I get my nasal spray together, make sure I can breathe because even though I'm on the other side, I can feel that I can't breathe. Feel me? So with that. And also I literally touch a surface touch a surface, get, you know what I'm saying? And it grounds you kind of in that area, makes you more lucid. Outside of that, yes, that's all I do. Yeah, that's all I really do. Let's see. Are humans the only beings with souls within this construct, or do plants and animals also? Yeah, plants and animals have souls. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say all of them, but you know, because just like humans, not all humans are technically souls. Um, I don't want to get into that right now because I have my thoughts about it. But I don't think all humans are actually have the divine spark, what if you want to call it divine. Yeah. I don't like using words like that, y'all. I don't know. I guess maybe because I, you know, come from a religious background. You know what I'm saying? What does divine mean? You know that I don't know. But it is what it is. Let's see. Let's see here. Uh-oh. I think I've Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Uh Tony, I love your videos. Oh, it looks like I hope I haven't forgotten. Hold up. I'm trying, y'all. Thank you to everyone for in chat for being respectful and thank you so much, Venomous. I do remote viewing purely by accident when doing out of body. Neat. That's what's up, John. John Demarius. I need to learn how to do that. I don't know. I guess once I learned how to do out of body stuff, I was just like, hey, that's my thing. With respect to Tony's answer, black absorbs negative energy. I imagine a circle of black around me. It does. Black it'll absorb practically all energies in all honesty. Black in the physical is UV radiation, by the way. But black out there, it does. It absorbs energy. It cuts energetic bridges too. When those bots came around me, had the pointing their finger at me and literally were touching me like that, trying to get that energy, and I thought black, boom, they left. Yeah. So it does. That's true. That's all right, Ark. Welcome. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, John. Appreciate you. Thanks for teaching and sharing. Oh, you're very welcome, Sarah. Would you say lucid dreaming is similar to OBE? Yes, in a couple of regards. The same thing that you could use within lucid dreams, like your flight, your ability to use powers, that is the same as what you would experience when you're out of the body. The only difference, also the thought forms are gonna be, you'll experience those as well. But you won't really see everything that's because your mind sort of makes this overlay. It's a dream overlay, and even sometimes the matrix can put an overlay of their own as well. So yeah, it can be a little interesting, I would say. Okay, so lucid dreaming is yeah, you can use your powers and whatnot in the same way that you would use in an out of body experience. But other than that, that for me. I mean, that's from what I've observed. I would say. Hi, Jamie. It's okay. Hi, Faye. I appreciate you. I believe sleep paralysis to be non-organic forces trying to prevent people from leaving the body to have an OBE, hence the pressing down feeling. Okay, so no, 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 Arc. It's what it is. It's your body does it automatically. You just don't realize it. Most of the time we've already fallen asleep before we're in the paralysis mode. But you literally you can't to have an out of body experience, your body, physical body can't also be moving and whatnot at the same time too. It just doesn't work like that. So no, it's not a force. I would disagree with that. But I see why people did say that because I ain't gonna lie, in church, it was all about the witches riding your back, demons riding your chest. That I heard that a lot. So every time I would have, and I was always having sleep paralysis, and I was like, I just knew I prayed. I thought I was doing all right. I mean, but I kept having sleep paralysis. So I mean, it got me thinking, okay. But yeah, the body does it automatically. So glad to be here. I'm glad you here too, Jamie. Fifth. Have you seen any other OBEers fighting against those bots enforcers? What about reptilians, grays? Have you seen any of those? I have not seen any of the reptilians. I've not seen any grays. I've only seen bot enforcers, that kind of thing. I have not seen any other OBEers fighting against them. This is the thing, y'all. When souls get together, we feed kind of we resonate most of the time, I would say, and we're more powerful like that. They do everything they can to try to keep most souls, especially those that have their they are aware from coming in contact if they can. All right. It's really hard to just, let's say I wanted to have an out of body experience with somebody else. All right. First off, we would have to figure out how to come out at the same time and in the same place. You find that a little bit more easy in the etheric plane. But then again, of course, you still have to come out at the same time. And what it's just, y'all, it's a lot harder than one would think to be with to meet with somebody else on the out on the other side. Like it's just, yeah. But some people can do it. I guess I've never been able to do it. I would love to hear more about your take on sleep paralysis. Well, yeah, my take is just it's a physical thing. It's just what the body does. You know, your body produces these chemicals. That's a chemical that will and that puts that paralyzes the body. I don't really think much more into it because that is the and I will say this, I've had one of the out of body experiences. I was able to catch the sleep paralysis part and I kind of jerked like this and then I ended up flying backwards in my like my etheric body, all conscious, all that went straight back. Body was still on the bed, not moving. But then that was one of my earlier out of body experiences, and I was able to, to see myself and whatnot. But yeah, your body is put to sleep, or put into paralysis. Although astrology is part of the construct, can it still be utilized to maneuver through the matrix? I believe so, Divine. I believe so. As a matter of fact, people have been asking me, and it's no slight to anybody. What is my sun, moon, rising, and birth date, and all of that stuff? And it's a code. It's kind of gives insight into the soul itself. There is a reason why a person came and was born at a certain time or a certain day. I do believe that's a thing. And so I just like to keep that kind of, so if you know, I don't mean any harm, y'all, but I would just rather keep that type of information a bit more close to my chest. It's just uh, you know, I got enough to deal with the bots. So, but I mean, and it's nothing to do with anybody. It's just, the chick asked me for my phone, y'all. Y'all don't get it. Like some of y'all might not understand. Like what? You know what I'm saying? So it would behoove everybody just to be aware. You know what I'm saying? They try to get all these different types of information, just making it harder. You know what I'm saying? For to mm-mm. So I try not to, and then another reason too, I try not to put too much emphasis on anything like that. Astrology is a thing. It is what it is. It's yeah, but I just try to, stay a little bit further away from that if I can. Giving out in specific information. That's just me, And some people mean well, and I love you for it. I just can't. I'd rather not. That's yeah. I've read that the energy that you get from semen retention can be used as rocket fuel to make astral travel OBEs easier. What are your thoughts? I believe that the root chakra and kundalini, that kind of thing, is a thing. I think I don't know if it would make it easier per se, but I've heard that it can help to yeah, give you a bit more oomph if you're trying to fly through something, like go somewhere. Um, but I mean, I I'm good with that either. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if we are the source, we shouldn't have to do a whole lot of extra to do what we need to do. Um, so if a person believes in semen retention, then it's a thing for them. For me, I don't know if I don't think it would help me that much at this point. That's just my personal opinion. But remote viewing is simply sending your consciousness to the past, present, or future anywhere you want to go. I'm not sure how it's different than an OBE, but you're definitely still in your body when you are. Yeah. OBEs, you're not in your body. So RV, remote viewing, you would be. I think that's yeah, that would be the difference. But yeah, I hear you, Missy. My concern with going out of the body is leaving my body vulnerable to entity attachments. Isn't that a concern for you? No, 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 no. So, hmm, I'm not worried about that kind of thing. The main thing is because our bodies, they would first have to have a certain type of resonance, a specific resonance to be able to overlay within the body itself. So that I don't really worry too much. I don't know, I don't want to be in. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Maybe there might be some entity that just want to be a in this body. But you know what I'm saying? For an entity to want to come to the 3D, I don't know. Um, I don't know. But no, I don't ever really think that much about it like that. I just because true again, you are attached to this. It's energetic, it's nervous system. It ain't like just something just come in your body and it's not that easy like people would like to think you know now I will say this: if you have an aspect of yourself or another part of you that can happen. Now I've read a couple of books on that too, but I do, as a matter of fact, I went to Focus 27 and I was it just so happened, I don't know, I can't remember the binaural beats I was using, but I saw me, but it was a different, my face was totally different. It was, and this guy, I think he had a girlfriend, nice looking, looked like a mansion or whatnot. And I was looking at myself like, what the heck? I was is it a whole other place? Now, again, it was Focus 27, so it was in the fourth dimensional space, but still, it's still a dimensional space. So, but that was, I believe, was more of an aspect of me, or that we resonated at the same rate. But there's a lot of more studying I need to do on that. So, but yeah, that has happened twice so far in my journeys, going into somebody else's body. I'm assuming, yeah. So, do you ever experience beings touching you while OBE, like things on your bed or jumping on? All right, y'all. Now, do y'all want the real deal? Why you you Prince? No, I'm right. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be as honest as I possibly can. So there was a time when I was breaking up with the bureaucracy. When I started to be like, look, y'all can't take me out anymore. That and they couldn't take me out. They literally, so they tried to harvest energy from me by any means necessary. And a lot of times it can show up as to scare you. Okay. Now, did they hurt me? No, it wasn't like that. But my bed would get bumped. Yes. Okay. Eventually they realized. And I was thinking, like, do they realize the more they bump? And I mean, just a little bump, just a boom. And then I'm like, I'm scared. And boom, there's a loosh. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, loosh can be given off from happy feelings too. So that's not the thing. But yeah, every time I tried to come out of my body, I would put my little mask on, earbuds, whatnot. And I haven't said anything about this before, but yes, we have a lot of people that are scared and stuff like that. But then I think, why am I scared of my bed being bumped? You know? And so eventually I got used to it and I start coming out anyway. So they realized they couldn't use that against me anymore. It's about overcoming the fear at that point. But that is an excellent question, and I know some people are probably gonna be scared. But y'all, I gotta be real with you. All right. I'm just this is just I'm be being transparent. Okay. It They can try, but it's not like somebody throwing stuff on the glass and breaking glass. It's nothing like that. It's like little stuff. You know what I mean? But you don't have to be afraid because there ain't nothing they can do. You know what I'm saying? If you, especially if you want to do whatever, they couldn't take me out. They were pissed. You have a freaking nuclear reactor that just said no. So that's what it was. They got over it. What do you think about DMT experiences in relation to the astral realms? DMT realm could be back end computer system that allows the astral realm, physical realm to appear as it does. I don't know. I I've never, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't even answer that question. I don't know very much about that. I know people, use DMT. I've never experienced it. So, ooh, wait, did I just oh goodness, I keep losing my place, y'all. I'm sorry. Let's see. Uh Jeff, did I say thank you? Thank you so much, Jeff. I don't know if I did or not. Okay. What? Ooh, wait a minute, y'all. Wait. It's like I lost my place. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together. Give me just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, got the DMT. Why don't you end the matrix body right now by stopping your heart, then to leave it? Are you trying to tell me to kill myself, sir? E, is that what you That's not how this works. I'm not depressed, that's for sure. You know, and I rather like some of these things on the in the 3D, you know, you know. But it's just it is what it is. So stopping the heart. Now I know that some of the yogis can slow their heart down, and it's called decouple. They'll decouple from this entire thing, and all that's left is just them, the spark itself, and then they fly on out. Not very many people are able to do that. But let somebody, if you can try to, off yourself, and then what happens? Frequency attenuation. Half the people won't even realize that they're dead. That's how it works. You shoot and then you just knew you didn't killed yourself, but you end up doing something, on the other side in your room. You won't even see your body. It's like that. So you be careful with that kind of stuff. I don't promote that at all, y'all. I mean, don't it's not worth the you just you gonna end up coming right back. Reincarnation at its finest. So happy to see you. Love your honest content. Well, can't be nothing but honest, sacred. What those guides don't want us to realize is we have a lot more power than we realize. That's the reason they bomb us with the love. That is true. That is true. They just go on with they don't realize we just got to remember how to use the power. And that is where I am today. I think I'm pretty much there. And of course, when I learn, you learn. Once I asked AI tips to not recycle, reincarnate. One step were to familiarize yourself with your own hum frequency, and when out of the body death, listen, look for your own hum and frequency and follow it. I see what you're saying. Okay, so MBC, that buzz sensation, that yes. But I think what people don't know, they don't know how to locate it. It's hard to it's easier to say, your frequency. What does it feel like? That I've never felt it until this last out of body experience when I dropped my awareness to the center of my chest like that, like the way it feels. You're not looking like at first I was trying to see the spark, like I close my eyes and then think I'm just gonna see it in my chest. And that's not how it works. It's a feel. You have to feel what it feels like. And it's a physical feel, not a, even though you're not in the physical body. But that's the best way I can describe it. You can feel it. You really can. I prefer the terms consciousness rather than soul. Hey, I hear you. When you get pulled, do you feel the intensity of travel? It's similar to me as when I'm in a roller coaster ride. Yes, I do. Yes. And depending on how far I go or where I go, it can be pretty intense. Okay, it feels so creepy, like something else is present. Thanks for bringing clarity there. Oh, no problem, Ark. No problem. Yeah, it is. It feels like Darius J. Wright used the term. It feels like death, and I would agree. It if death had a feeling, I would. Yeah, especially if you're awake, if you're aware and it's happening. Yeah, it feels weird. So. I like what you mentioned earlier about the color black because I do use what could only be described as black void energy. This made sense because this literally cut entities off. Yep, it does. It does, Astral. Yep. Black light. Didn't you see you sis or cousin in an OBE not planned but just happened? Yes, I did see my sister. Yes, I did. Yeah, we were in the etheric plane. And yeah, she yeah, I saw her, Y'all can see that video. That baby, she bless her heart. She didn't see me, but I certainly did. I saw her. Um, do you record your physical body while you're in OB? You know what? Um, I was thinking of doing that actually. And actually one of my coworkers, and we were talking about possibly filming me while I sleep during a possible physical OBE. But I really want to do something like brain wave kind of thing to see what happens during my OBEs, like that kind of thing. I think that would be pretty cool. What do y'all think? Is that something y'all might be interested in seeing? Something like that? I don't know. Greetings all. Hi, Kim. While it would be cool if everyone here who does OBEs could all try to have one together. OBE club. It would be nice. It would be nice. I can't, yeah. All right, I see the hearts. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try to see how we can make that happen. Let's see. I still haven't forgotten that Mortal Kombat you had with I know, yeah, how do you get wait. That's not Mortal Kombat. Yo, that's Street Fighter. But yeah, Mortal Kombat. I was like, clap my hands, pop, and he just went out. I think we are all related. Yeah, I think so too, Kim. Hey, Tony, please answer my question. Can we heal our physical bodies during an OBE? I thought I answered it, Lola. Like, it's possible, yes. The first thing would, can you cast light? Do you know how to cast light out in the astral plane? If you can, then you would have to direct it towards your body, to the physical body. But okay, now this is it. But you would, whatever part of the body that's the ailment is, I don't know if it's the heart or whatever, you're gonna need to visualize that becoming whole as well. And then I think I told you to email me. Tony at insightswithtony.com. Email me. Then we can talk a little bit more about that. I think it's on the will of the soul to have an OBE or OBE. I eat sweets and eat during wake back to bed, and I still have a yeah. Hey, I wish, John. I wish. Ooh, yeah. I missed the very beginning of the live. Can you please revisit the emotional pendulum? I will. Yes, it was more so I noticed that a friend of mine was dealing with something. She had just had a windfall of money. She was very excited about that. As a matter of fact, she was waiting for it for so long, and she's getting her back pay and all of that stuff. So she was just very happy, crying. And then just today, she went down. She was in some serious sadness, because her daughter's having some issues, with, some health issues, and she doesn't know what to do. So it's like it's just, ooh, all the way up here and then root right back down. That's just the whole polarity of it. The higher the high, the lower the low, it seems. And that's basically what I was trying to say with the pendulum. It creates energy. On the high creates energy, the low creates energy, and then in between, it's like it's friction. It goes, woo. It's like that's energy in and of itself as well. What do you say about all the channeling, different ETs, masters, beings, anything? I don't really know, like, personally, channelers. I don't want to, I mean, I can't really speak out against anything like that. I just, I know that there was a book called Seth Speaks, and he was channeled the whole time. So, and there's a wealth of information in that book. I'm just saying. So yay or nay, I can't tell you. I couldn't give you an honest answer about that. Like, that was my honest answer would be I don't know if it's I don't know if you're asking if I believe it's true or if I think it's just hogwash. I don't, you know what I mean? I, hey, if Jane Edwards was able to channel Seth through her and do all that and all of that stuff, I don't know. I think it might be something to it. I don't know. But anyways, have you found out how to escape the matrix and defeat the reptilian, mantis, Nordic, draconian, insectoid, and grays? Superman, I'm not Superman. I can't tell you how the only thing I can tell you is this. Make sure that you are in touch with this core, this spark in your chest. As far as leaving, escaping the only person, entity, consciousness, soul, you would need to get in contact with that, and you can leave after whenever you do transition. But fighting all of the I mean, and to be, ooh, you about to open up a whole other topic. I'm gonna just hold for now, but just know that a soul is a soul is a soul. You know, if it's not a consciousness, if it's not a soul, then it's constructish. It's robot or whatever, AI or something to that effect. So whether it's a mantis or a reptile, I mean, we have the ability to go in different bodies from my understanding. Okay. Just saying. We have that ability. If we anytime we can enter another body that resonates, within the same resonance, we have that ability. Remember, we're not physical. We're an energetic being. So, anywho, Truman Cash is someone who practiced memory regressions and wrote books about it. Okay, he also said the human nervous system acts as a cage to keep the soul trapped in there. But mm, it it takes your awareness. That's the thing. It's hard to remain aware out of the body if you have even if you're in pain or something like that, because you can feel it. It's like your nervous system takes that awareness and it's so visceral. It's like you feel it. It's like, ooh, that's the thing. So I would agree with that, Floyd. At least to some degree. Yeah. Does anyone know where to get the Gateway tapes? Monroe Institute is sold out and nothing I get it from YouTube. They have it all on the now. I believe they have all of the waves on YouTube, like all of it. So, yeah, I believe they're all there. Robert Monroe went into a black man's dead body during his funeral. Oh, there might have been an aspect of himself. I have no clue. I That's interesting, Joe. Let's see. I can answer that. Oh, talking to Super Lady. Awesome. Greetings, Super Lady. Okay. All right. I think I'm getting somewhere here. All right. Do the brainwave thing with video combined so we can see how the body reacts as it. I don't know if I want to show all my little. But I will show my. All right, y'all. All right, we make it work. I'm gonna see what I can do to get that. Um, let's see. You want to see how the body reacts as the brain waves shift, y'all. Now I have a feeling I might be doing all kinds of things. Who knows? I don't even know what I look like when I'm out of the body. The only thing I know is of the first time when I came out and saw my body and my mouth was like, oh gosh, I can't. But we'll see. Oh, it's gonna be so. Oh, we'll see. I'll see what I can do. The things I do. Oh, let's see here. I used to have OBEs when was younger. Now fear keeps from having them. Uh, Fear is a literal. Is like a almost like a veil. Like you just have to punch through. But I promise it, you don't have anything that you need to worry about in that respect. Come out. Don't you do not have to be afraid. That spark is called the azure point and or permanent seed atom of the higher heart complex allows activation of the internal heart flame to open the inner sanctum. That's a whole lot that was said. And I don't okay. I'm sorry, I probably missed it. Thank you for answering again. Oh, no problem, Lola. Have you ever been in a situation where you had difficulty coming out of an OBE? No, I have had a couple of OBEs where I tried to go back in my body and I just couldn't, like right at that point. But I gave it a few seconds and I did. Eventually, I came out. I mean, I went back in. Sleep apnea test will test your brain. It said I was having. Ooh, stop brain it said I was having brain waves like I was working 6 jobs. Oh, oh, wow. Well, that is something. Oh, the guy with hold up, y'all. My computer is acting up on me. Okay, here we go. The guy with the blonde, greasy hair. You know what? Someone emailed me and said that they think that they know who that guy was. The guru, y'all. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, okay. So she sent me a link to his video, and I can't remember the name of the wait a minute. Wait. Hold up. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna tell you who it was. Hold up. I have my phone right here, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Okay, here. Uh okay. Jeez. Just when I want to find this thing quick. Hold up. Here we go. Okay. It was Rebecca. Uh, what is this guy's name? Aaron Dowdy. Yeah. And I kid you not, it was very reminiscent of the guru that I saw. I have to be honest. Now, he's cut his hair since then, but it is uncanny. So I don't know if it was him. I'm be honest, I don't know, but it certainly looked like him. Let's see here. You missed my question on how would people that are born blind experience an OBE? How would they see the same way we do? Okay, so blindness is a physical thing. Now you got to remember too, I have an eye mask on. Like it's I can't see in the physical, like literally. So when I come out, I can see. So it's they would still be able to see as well. And you notice by the exit when they come out, you know, you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it. Robert Monroe went inside of his alternative self body in an alternative. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, right. He did. Uh, Tony and y'all, there's a book on Audible that's written back in the 1800s, the Spirits book that talk about out of body and channeling. Cool. I'm gonna have to look at that one. Have you heard of Astral Boo Baby or Diru 7 Rion from Team? No, I've never heard of Astral Boo Baby until today. Specifically, if the channeled beings are legit, who they say they are, or the archons are doing things. Thank you. Well, and you know what though? My mind, I'm thinking of how it could actually work, how an entity from the other side could channel through somebody and not actually be an archon, but also not be a soul that is in frequency attenuation, that's actually being in a loop. Mm, ooh, that's an excellent. Ooh, but information is information. The information that they give pretty good information. Um, but also the fact that some souls are not necessarily in human bodies. They may be in like a gray is, I know people talk about those, or in a different, a different being altogether. And they would be able to, in which case they haven't lost their memories apparently, so they can, channel through as well, I guess. But you still have to, there has to be some sort of a resonance there. Do you think that OBE can heal schizophrenia? So schizophrenia to me is not necessarily a it's like a valve that just doesn't turn off with the voices that you may hear. It may very well be other souls, entities, whatever the case is. Um, but healing it, I would imagine so. As a matter of fact, I saw in one of my OBEs that there was a little screen with a visor, and on the screen they had different mental illnesses, right? So if you press the little button, like schizophrenia, whatever, and then it helps to cure that particular soul of that, whatever that was. That's a template thing, you know. It doesn't really help too well in the physical, but to be schizophrenic, that is. But yeah, I believe so. I believe you in OBE, you would just put the little visor thing on. I mean, provided you know where to go. That was, I want to say, Focus 21. That's what I was listening to. Robert Monroe's Focus 21, and ended up there. So I mean, I would give it a try, I guess. I promise I don't know it. I don't know it all. I'm sorry. I just, let's see. And y'all, there's a book. Okay, okay. You missed my question. Did I get it? How would people that are born blind? Oh, yep, got that one. Got a copy of the tapes in high def. Oh, good. That's what's up. Yeah. John, you need to send me that too then. Got the high definition link. Okay. Let's see. What books do you recommend to help educate on OBE and similar things? Okay, let me get my little books so y'all know. And I'll tell you the ones I started with. Well, I'll if y'all want all of them, all of the ones that I've read, and I'll that's fine too. Let's see. Your books list. Come on. Here we go. Mhm. Gosh. Where are you? Sorry, guys. I'm coming. Give me just a second. Okay. So I have I've read. All right, I'm trying to skip through the ones that. All right, Neville Goddard, the Deluxe Collection. Seth Speaks, Far Journey. So Seth Speaks was by Jane Roberts. Neville Goddard, the Deluxe Collection. Neville Goddard, Noah Press. Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon. See, I haven't read those. Some of her too. Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts. Robert Monroe's Far Journeys. Three Waves of Volunteers on the New Earth by Dolores Cannon. Ultimate Journey. Now, the ones about the out of body experiences and specifically Journeys Out of the Body, Robert Monroe, of course. That was the first one I read. Where is the other one? Oof, 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 oof. Uh, Journey of no, that's well, I read Journey of Souls as well. Where is Hacking the Out of Body Experience by Robert Peterson. That one also helped. And then of course I had to get into the energy stuff. Light Emerging by Barbara Ann Brennan. Visions of the Spiritual World. I even read that one. The Trap by David Icke. Leaving the Trap. I even got into Isabella Green too. Journey of Souls, Michael Newton. William Buhlman's Adventure in the Afterlife, Adventures Beyond the Body, William Buhlman. Transcending the Trap by Isabella Green. Remote Viewing Secrets. I haven't finished that one yet, but yeah. Apocryphon of John, Apocryphon of James. And I'm still trying to read the Holographic Universe, but it's a lot, y'all. But still, I almost forgot. Hold up. Well, y'all probably tired of hearing me talk about these books that I read. So, anyways, those it's it's a lot. Let's see. Um, go back. Oh, Our Universal Journey. Yeah, that's George Cavasilis. That one. The Oversoul 7. That one. Seth Materials. It's y'all. I've been doing, on my journey. I've been going through trying to find. You know what I'm saying? So it's taken some time, but I've been reading. Let's see. I hope I got. Ooh, y'all! It's almost 4 o'clock. Look, we'd have been on there over 2 hours. I like that. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Somebody asked, what do I think about Tony Sayers? I like Tony. I like Tony Sayers. I like, you know, what he says. I mean, he's no perfect person. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, you know. Um, he has his own little way. I will say that. He quick to call somebody a shill. What's it? Ooh, I'm glad I'm on his good side. 'Cause, ooh. Oh, I tell you. I mean, and the thing is, it's just the point is, I wouldn't get on here trying to tell anybody about anything if I didn't experience something that correlates with something else that I've read or something. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to get on here talking about how powerful and you don't have to worry about anything mm, but all for the sake of trying to keep people from being scared. But the only way to really overcome the fear, like truly overcome it, you got to know what's going on. And then and you can internalize and just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to get on here and spout a whole bunch of stuff people be saying, just talking, and it don't make sense. Be practical, break this down. Let's see. Sleep apnea. Okay, we did that. Okay. Have you heard from? Okay, no, y'all books. Okay. I think I'd have made some headway. All right, y'all. Look, I'm gonna have to unfortunately end the live. It's it's not anything. It's about my neck is starting to hurt because I'm trying to bend. I'm like this, I gotta upgrade my business, my little digital space. You feel me? I'm getting there. Just give me a minute. I will be doing. Oh goodness, I'll have a Discord that's coming out. And I'm also going to. If anybody would like to join my little level of, I think I'll only do it for like $1.99 or something like that. If you want to join or be a member of my channel, maybe 99 cent, I don't something, just and it kind of opens up, it'll kind of help me out a little bit too, because the family has grown, y'all, and it's getting a little difficult to keep up. So but if you're interested in something like that, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, I do plan to do more lives, things like that. Y'all like lives? Y'all like this? Mm, it's all right. It'll do. All right, y'all. So if I did not get to your question, please don't charge it to my heart. It is, but I would really, I think we've been on here quite a bit, quite a while. So, but I appreciate everybody that showed up. It was spur of the moment. You feel me? Hey, and y'all showed. I appreciate it. It just lets me know y'all are interested in this kind of thing. All right. So again, I love you all. Even though some people don't too much care for me out there, but I love you all. And there's definitely more to come. All right, y'all. Y'all take care.